Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Professor Masiero, for the presentation, and I would like to thank Professor Ugo Carraro for the invitation, and thank you to Professor Carraro and Dr. Maccarone because they told about some news, some topics that represents a sort of introduction for my one, because I would like to discuss with you about the importance of elucidate some problems about rehabilitation, about technological rehabilitation, and about thermal rehabilitation in a new way. And I will show you how. Okay, so the content, a brief history about medicine and about the technology applications in medicine, and the focus in rehabilitation and technology, and then what is technological transition and what is its important role in rehabilitation and in our work, the aims of my presentation, and then a sort of specific and small literature analysis to show the focus that I mentioned to you, and a couple of considerations that we can do together. So the history of medicine, you know, in medicine we have seen in many times and in many situations a big importance, a big technological approach in to care the patients. And I will show you the first tools used in medicine, but just to figure the importance of technological assessment and technological assistance for the physicians, and the role of thermal, because it's very important, because as Dr. Maccarone showed before, the thermal medicine showed an importance in all the centuries of medicine history. And then the recent challenges like artificial intelligence and similar. So the first technological sort of technological usefulness visible in medicine is from Egypt in the about the 27th century before Christ, where we can see in some mummified people the prosthetic tools that were used. They were used to improve the functionality of the limbs. And then in the Middle Ages, we see the main important evolutions, very important technological evolutions. And as I mentioned before, we have a large number of bathhouses. We have a large number of structures in which we can see the thermal medicine in all Europe. But interestingly, in Middle Ages, we have some poor reputation of the thermal places, because they represented the only way for many people in Middle Ages to clean themselves. And but for the same reason, there were some events not very clear, not very cool, like prostitution, for example. And in the 15th century, many bathhouses were closed due to these events, and so many people did not have the possibility to clean themselves. But of course, in recent years, the problem doesn't exist. In the 17th century, we have many examples of the technological application in medicine, like the first microscope in Holland, in the Netherlands, or the first stethoscope called in the first years as a monoscope. It was a sort of small tube that in France was developed to improve the possibility to hear the sounds from the body of the patients. And in the 20th century, precisely in 1895, but in all the 20th century, we can see the big evolution of radiological images. The imaging is very important even today, and the first radiological image was developed in Germany by Röntgen, who won the Nobel Prize. And today we have a lot of technological alliances between medicine and the other science. For example, computer, internet, and so on. So, what is the technology in rehabilitation? It is based on many machines, on many scientific rules, and it has many aims in rehabilitation. For example, for the evaluation purpose, like neurophysiology, like electrophysiology, and similar. We have a computer-based rehabilitation. For example, all the virtual reality that can be used for rehabilitative purpose, or the robotic rehabilitation, or, for example, the tele-rehabilitation. In particular, with Professor Masiero, we are working about the possibility to apply the tele-rehabilitation to improve in simple ways the quality of lives or quality of life of many patients, and so on, and other. But with this list, we can see that the technology can be used in medicine and in rehabilitation in particular. But what is technological transition? Is simple the application of technology in medicine? Probably no. Because technological transition consider a particular scheme that I will show you, and so I will show you the current level and the future perspective of technological transition in medicine. This is the scheme of the technological transition. This is a social science paper which shows how the simple development of a single technology is located just in the first phase, in the so-called niches that are a sort of nest or a group of nests in particular sciences, for example, engineering or university and so on. But when we apply the technology developed, for example, in a particularly structure like university, in our world, we can move from the first to the second level. But probably this is not enough, because we should move to the landscape, to the society, to the political environment, to the global humanity. Like, for example, the vaccination. You can see that vaccines are very important to save peoples. But, for example, COVID-19 vaccination improved the social connection and probably had more effects in political science, in society, in culture, in cultural vision, etc. So we should study our proposal, our rehabilitative proposal, our technology, our medical technology in this way, in order to guarantee an evolution of the whole society. So the single adaptation is not enough, because this is the first step, but the application should be not only limited to the single event, to the single patient, but should be considered its importance in all the society. Why? Because in this way we can guarantee the use of technology to all patients to avoid that just rich people or just people from a part of the world can use this technology. We have to apply the technology, the medical technology, to all the system, all the medical and social systems. So the aims of my presentation is this: is double the evaluation of the technology-based rehabilitation from a literature review and the formulation of proper future approach. We have performed a literature analysis, literature search, using these simple terms: robot, virtual reality, rehabilitation, and rehabilitation, using just a single filter of the time. In particular, we consider just papers in the last 10 years. And these are the results. Of course, there is a very high interest of these topics, but the papers are just focused on the medical outcome, of course, is normal, and the economical outcome. For example, using the rehabilitation, we can reduce the money we spend to care a lot number of people. But if we use a sort of virtual length, if we want to improve our analysis, we cannot see anything about the political choice or the social integration, or in particular the cultural effect image for what about the vaccination. We have changed our visions, and we should change our vision for the technology rehabilitation in general, because with this activity, with this mind activity, and with this social integration, we can improve the application of technology in all the level and for every people. So my considerations that I would like to show you, and I would like to share our thoughts is the challenges. The challenge for the current medicine is probably the necessity to improve our vision, to connect medicine with other matters like sociology, like political sciences, and similar. And we can start, and this is an invitation for you and for us. We can start to design our future studies in order to formulate some answers in this topic. In particular, we can study not only the medical problem and the medical resolution of a disease, but even the real impact in society and the real impact in culture, in the sharing culture of the people, and in particular the difference between different countries. We are here from every part of the world, and so we can use our group, for example, for this aim. So thank you very much for our attention, and I hope I will have from you some of your consideration.
Congratulations, Dr. Coraci. Very interesting presentation. And any question from audience? Please, Maria Chiara.
I have a question. What do you think about artificial intelligence? This is an instrument for doctors or something that can be an obstacle to our experience and our diagnosis?
Thank you very much. It's a very important question because today an artificial intelligence instrument was shut down in Italy. I think it is a tool, and as a tool, it could be positive or negative. Of course, the real problem is that for the resolution of human problems like medicine and its consequences, we need to humanize the resolution. I explain in a better way. We can use the artificial intelligence, yes. I think it's not really an obstacle, but it could be very useful. But at this moment, it's a bit limited. Okay, so it's a bit limited. But I think it's in the future, if we improve the system, it will be very important for us. But the problem is that the humanity of the problems should be never forgotten, and so I think the real challenge is a real and good improvement of the tool in order to finalize each tool for each aim. For example, the recent developed instruments are very general, and so probably for some specific problems they are too limited, and we should work very hard for this.
Please, other question? Could I have a question for you? Two?
Sure.
One. In the new technology, for me, there are one big problem. It is how they are with the people and the person who work in the hospital. For example, the new technology, the novelty in the field of the rehabilitation, for example, or in the other field. What is the problem in the your experience?
Between human and...
yeah. Is it two aspects?
Mm-hmm. Industry.
The people, the patients,
yeah,
and the workers.
And the workers, yeah. The human works or the robot?
No, human works.
No, yeah. Yes. Thank you, Professor Mazziero, for the question.
It's a big question.
Yeah. It's a big question, probably with a big talk. So the patient is the center. Okay. So this is the main problem. But with the technology, with this type of technology, sometimes the patient is no more the center. And I think that in some situation, in some hospital, some structure, they are just used to facilitate the workers, but not to really see the good and the best improvement for the patient. So I think that for example, the robot, okay. The robots are, in many cases, they are just a simple facilitation, but they are not able to really improve the person in totality. Okay, so.
But the robot facilitate or no the rehabilitation, for example, for you. because it's a very true problem.
Yes, I know, but it just facilitates a part of rehabilitation. Okay, for example, it can facilitate the collection of some outcome measures. Okay, or can facilitate the mobilization of specific patient with the big problems. Yes, but from my experience, in my experience, in some cases, the results is not very different from in cases of just human rehabilitation and technological rehabilitation. Yeah, traditional and technological based rehabilitation. Of course, each problem should be seen in distinct way. For example, the famous erigo, okay, that is the important bed that can verticalize the patient. Yes, in that case, probably it could facilitate, because staying in that position is very difficult without a technological tool like this bed. But in other cases, probably it's more similar to a good spot for a good visibility for an hospital. But the real importance of rehabilitation is not the robot. Okay, yes, say in the screen. I think that sometimes some doctors can think that with a robot they can solve almost everything, but it's not the reality.
In summary, could have only small people obtain the results, or you find the indication for treatment by new technology?
Yes.
You agree?
Okay.
Are you interested to implement, stay in the screen please, are you interested to implement artificial intelligence to your statistical evaluation of new technologies? If yes, we have here an expert, which is from Reykjavik in Iceland, but it is from Naples really. And therefore it will be for sure a very, very good collaborator. And I strongly suggest
artificial intelligence for statistical analysis, just for statistical analysis, or for
that is the view of a stupid general pathologist. We hope that Paolo will explain what I have to say.
Yeah. No, yes. Thank you for your talk. No, we are establishing for next semester the first master in digital health, which is a course of study that is open to clinicians and technologists. The idea behind is that this data revolution is in front of our eyes, and we will have to be prepared and somehow, and I think you agree from your comments, I can see that in the environment not everyone is ready, or there is kind of still confusion of what can do artificial intelligence, all those, the data revolutionary tools. And perhaps maybe the word artificial intelligence is confusing. This morning I was making a question to a speaker about using artificial intelligence for certain type of application, and he said, no, I don't trust machinery, which means there is no the understanding of what is behind machine learning. Do you agree? You are from a clinical environment, right? And do you agree that the first step is to educate about the potential, and then that's the open chance of using and developing tools?
Absolutely, yes. And I would like to add that at the moment, for example, in statistical analysis, artificial intelligence is a reality. Okay, I know I know the new artificial intelligence is a sort of a fake evolution of the because the very recent like ChatGPT, for example, okay, is not the real application of artificial intelligence. In fact, when I show you the importance to improve the technological application in different levels, I underline this topic because moving from a particularly environment to other without the real traduction of the tool, it's not good. So I think that the first step is this. So what is artificial intelligence real? What is the basis and what is the aim of artificial intelligence? So the education is the first step, and probably the possibility to have the same language, to have the possibility to communicate between medical doctors, physiologists, engineering, and artists, and so on. It's very important. It's the first step, I know. Because at the moment, some technology exists, but the same technology, for example, if you want to use the fridge to move it from like a car, it's not impossible. So the same artificial intelligence should be used in a very good way, but just only if we have the real mind instrument for the comprehension and for the application of this.
Thank you.
Sorry, your name is?
Stefan Löffler from Vienna, of the group for Professor Kern. I want just to say, do not forget the patient. Put the patient in the center and the needs of the patient, because we're talking about technology, and especially with COVID-19, everybody's talking about using technology for everything, and this is not the solution. So we should think about, can we solve a problem with technology? Does it make sense? Then use it, and then use it for this problem and not for all. And also with telerehabilitation, everybody was thinking now we use telerehabilitation, but the patient prefer to come to have the personal relation, to have the private relation, the private situation. But it could be a very good solution for far distances. So there are a lot of places which have no access to rehab centers, or which traveling is quite long, or they have not the ability to stay for 3 weeks somewhere else for rehabilitation. Mm-hmm. So if they can do it at home with some help, it would benefit, great benefit for them. So
yes, I think that the first step in general is formulate the good question. Which is the problem? Do I have the tools to solve the problem? Yes. If I don't have, I can formulate a new solution. But of course, the technology rehabilitation, the technology in medicine itself, it's not the aim, it's the mean. Okay. Sometimes it is seen as a sort of aim. I buy more and more technology devices, but it's just not the final destination of my work. So I agree with you.
Okay, thank you. The time is, is off. Thank you. Thank you.